Hello, Buckeye. I'm Mayor Eric Orsborn, and I'm honored to share the progress our city has made over the past year and the exciting future ahead. As one of the fastest growing cities in the country, we have a responsibility to invest in infrastructure, secure our water future, foster economic growth, and ensure the highest quality of life for our residents. Today, we take a closer look at the key developments shaping Buckeye's future, so let's get into it. Buckeye's economy is thriving. We continue to attract major employers, bringing high-quality jobs and boosting our local economy. This year, we welcomed Amazon with a new distribution hub, creating over 700 jobs. Blue Polymers, an innovative and sustainable materials company, has their facility well underway, bringing 60 new jobs. Rarig Pacific, a leader in sustainable logistics, is fully operational, adding 100 plus jobs. Ross Dress for Less, with its new distribution center, creating over 1,300 jobs. These companies solidify Buckeye's position as a hub for innovation and opportunity. Buckeye's economic growth is booming, with over 9.2 million square feet of development underway or planned. Our city is thriving with new restaurants, retail, and services. In 2024, we broke ground on Sci-Hi's Buckeye Commons East, bringing Home Depot, Over Easy, and Slim Chickens. Vestar's Verrado Marketplace is also on the way, a 500,000 square foot hub featuring Harkins Backlot, Safeway, and Total Wine. Plus, Sprouts Farmers Market is coming to Roosevelt and Verrado Way, with more retailers to follow. The long-awaited Fry's Grocery is under construction on Miller Road, and Quick Trip is leading new developments along Sun Valley Parkway near Tartesso. With every new business, we're making Buckeye an even better place to live, work, and play. So we are really making some major headway getting those most requested services and retail locations that our residents are requesting. Our Economic Development Director, Susie Boyles, is head of the team making it happen. Susie, what are you most proud of?
Well, Mayor, I am most proud of all the growth and development that you just talked about going across the city. But I think I'm most proud of two things. I'm proud of really the diversification of that development. So we're seeing a lot of employment jobs coming to the community. We're seeing a lot of retail, entertainment, healthcare, and other services. And I think that's important in a growing city like ours. But the second half, I think, that I'm most proud of is the partners that we have that are building all of that in the community. So everything from the brands you just mentioned to Amazon and Rarig, but the people behind the scenes that are building a lot of this. So Vestar, Sci-Hi, Merit Partners. We can't do it without our great partners, and I'm really proud of the people that are investing in Buckeye.
Yeah, agreed. It is so fun to watch this stuff come out of the ground, and the projects that are coming out of the ground right now are the first of many in the 640 square miles that we have to build out. What are you excited about in the future here moving forward?
Yeah, I think you're trying to get the secrets out of me,
Break
Mayor.
some news here today.
I think that's what we're doing. I think that the future of Buckeyes is bright, right? There's, like you said, we're 640 square miles. We're only 16% built out. We have a long way to go for new development. I think one of the things that I'm most excited about is seeing what happens in the landing. So we're doing the specific area plan at Verrado and I-10. We've got a lot of momentum there already, but there's a lot of opportunities that are still coming. So the landing will be an economic engine, not only for the city, but really for the region. And the amount of diverse development that we could see in that area is going to be very special. It's going to be unique to Buckeye, and I'm really excited to see what could come out of that in the future. But like you said, there's development going to be happening all across the city. So what's the future of downtown? How are we looking to advance new development there? Putting in the infrastructure that we need to attract the businesses that the residents want in downtown. And then Sun Valley Parkway. I think we're going to see some things along Sun Valley Parkway, and we're really excited about the future of that too.
It is really just a matter of time, isn't it? When you have the population that's there, you're bringing the jobs that way. It is just a matter of time for those developments to start, those significant retail and employment developments to start out along Sun Valley Parkway.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of the housing growth that we're seeing out there is driving that next phase of development. So the commercial's coming, the grocery store everybody wants, we're working really hard to bring that to the area.
We're seeing a massive amount of medical coming to the area. Maybe talk a little bit about how strategic you guys have been over the past 5 years, or maybe even more, in working toward getting healthcare into the city of Buckeye.
Yeah, absolutely. The team has taken a strategic effort on the healthcare initiative that we have for the city. And so we did look at that a number of years ago and looked at where were the gaps in healthcare services. We looked at, as the population kept growing, we knew residents were leaving for basic healthcare services out of the community. And so we really took a strategic effort to bring those services closer. And we're really proud of the new developments that have come. Got a lot of new healthcare development on Watson Road with some new medical buildings coming there. They have a number of different services there, but really the exciting piece is the investment and commitment from Banner Health and Abrazo Health, both building full medical campuses right here in Buckeye that eventually will include hospitals for each. Abrazo's well underway. Their 60,000 square foot medical office building will be opening this year. It's 90% full. We're very excited about the additional services that will be coming there.
Maybe just some big numbers that are staggering. We're currently roughly 120,000 in population. What is our estimated population in 2040?
So by 2040, we'll be just shy of 300,000 people. 300,000. So if you think about it, that's not really that far away when you think about the trajectory of development. And so we will almost triple in size in that short period of time. And by doing that, it actually provides Buckeye some really great opportunities to continue to grow, to attract new industries. Frankly, Mayor, things that we haven't even thought of today could be coming to Buckeye in the future. And we're really excited about what that might look like because our population can support it.
Yeah, and number of jobs that we've created or brought into the community in the last, say, 4 years.
Yeah, so over the last 4 years, we've brought probably upwards of 4,000 to 5,000 jobs to the community. And that's, again, goes to bringing that workforce number that are commuting out of the community down. We're going to continue to do that. As you see, like I said, these hospitals and these retailers and new industries that hopefully are coming soon, we'll continue to see new job creation in the community.
Yeah. And then last one is number of square foot of employment use buildings that are in the pipeline, in some phase of the pipeline in the city.
Yeah, so two numbers. So we have 9.2 million square feet, like you mentioned, actively under development now. And that includes employment projects, but retail, entertainment, healthcare, and other services. But in the pipeline, we have almost 30 million square feet of employment projects in the pipeline. And I think that speaks to the testament of Buckeye's great position and a great location for these industries. We offer a lot of the site selection needs that these businesses want in order to select a new location. We check a lot of those boxes. And so that 30 million square feet, it doesn't happen overnight, but the fact that we have that much activity looking at the community is really positive. It's really encouraging, and we're excited to keep working those projects and bringing them to the city.
That's awesome. We're so proud of what we've accomplished to date. And so very, very excited for the future here in the city of Buckeye, and are grateful for the economic development, the entire team for doing what they do and bringing the right restaurants we want to see, the right retailers, the right businesses and employment to the community. Thank you for all that you guys do in helping us build a community.
Yeah, absolutely, Mayor. We love it. I couldn't do it without the team, and we're looking forward to the future.
Downtown Buckeye is evolving. As we continue to fine-tune the configuration of Monroe Avenue, the work done over the last year is enhancing the area's walkability and charm. New multifamily developments on the east and west sides of downtown will provide much-needed housing options, supporting new local businesses and increasing foot traffic. As we continue these improvements, downtown Buckeye will become a true gathering place for residents and visitors. Downtown Buckeye has come a long way in the last year with new housing, businesses, and restaurants. Development Services Director Brian Craig has been working closely with his team on the downtown vision for the last several years, and it's been exciting to see it take shape. Brian, talk to us about the plan, the DSAP we affectionately call it, and where we've been and where we're headed to.
Downtown business owners, residents, other stakeholders that have an interest in downtown participated in the process, which has yielded the downtown specific area plan, the DSAP, as you called it, really a vision for downtown, but not just a vision that sits on a shelf and we hope to accomplish. The DSAP is really about what are some action items to get downtown transformed from being auto-oriented, vehicle-oriented, to being really a place for business, a place for pedestrians, and a place to live, work, and play in downtown. Through that process, Mayor, we've identified some steps to help us get there, to achieve that vision. One of those is transforming what happens on Monroe Avenue from being really a highway to being a main street, and anywhere in America, Main Street, where we've reduced the number of through trucks, traffic, to be a place that's quieter, a place where you can have cafes, restaurants, and seating, and you can have other types of community activities.
What does an area like that need? What are the really important ingredients in a successful downtown?
So the areas that the city can control is really about the setting, the streetscape, the shade, the places for parking, the places for businesses to have outdoor seating, but it comes along with businesses interested in having that sort of environment to sell retail or to have restaurants and cafe seating in the downtown area.
And we've got residential that's coming. The most immediate are some of the multifamily projects that are happening on both, I guess, the east and the west side of downtown. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Sure, absolutely. So Solana Villas is a great opportunity for folks that are in our workforce, in our community, to have an opportunity to live that may not be looking for the larger luxury homes. So really, this is something that they can be a part of the community and the fabric of our community. And on the east end of downtown Buckeye, the Lanai Living Project, over 400 units, 1 and 2 stories, small bungalow-style residential, really a creative project that's going to add a lot of evening traffic to our community.
Yeah, and with a number of jobs also coming into the area, Ross will open very soon. You have 1,300-ish jobs that are coming to that location. People wanting to live, work, and play in that close proximity. Those living options are very, very important to that live, work, and play component. So exciting times ahead. And I think, as you said, that DSAP plan is sort of a living, breathing document, and it's our aspirational, but not sit on the shelf type plan. We've implemented some of that in kind of test cases along that Monroe area. Talk a little bit about maybe the striping and what has been accomplished there and what we're seeing and maybe some tweaks that need to be made.
Sure. One of the most transformative things the city can do to create the environment to see downtown develop to what we want is transforming Monroe, again, from being a highway to a main street. The city underwent a demonstration project, as we called it, to do a striping exercise without the incurred cost of tearing up pavement, moving curbs, really to reduce the number of lanes through downtown and encourage more of a main street feel, going from 4 lanes, 2 lanes in each direction, to a 1 lane in each direction with widened parking areas, but also an opportunity to use some of that excess space for businesses and what we call parklets, and maybe enjoy some seating or a place for office workers to come and have a break during the middle of the day.
Yeah. We're seeing maybe some needs for tweaks here and there on that, on the striping. We're still going through the process of figuring out what is working and what is not. And the beauty is it's only stripes on the pavement. It's not built with concrete and heavy infrastructure, so it's easy to tweak some of these areas that may need a little bit of congestion relief.
The whole intent was to test some ideas, to see how they worked, and to continually to evolve what we do with Monroe, to make sure we're meeting not only the vision of downtown, but also the business needs. And from a public safety perspective, we're still having the highest set of standards. So there's an opportunity presented to us to evolve the section from 2 lanes in each direction with very wide parking and very wide parklet areas to maybe introducing a center turn lane through the section to accomplish several things, to make it easier for public safety services to access businesses and to get through downtown, but also to enhance access to businesses on both sides of the street, to add left turns back in from a safety perspective.
Right. Yeah. And that continues. We will continue to have public meetings, make tweaks here and there, and then public meetings, and make sure that we're executing on what the public is asking of not only the electeds, but the planners and the people that are implementing the plan.
In fact, we have another workshop intended for the community to talk about Monroe specifically on April 23rd at 5:30 p.m. in City Hall to talk about, really, we've heard some feedback on the 2-lane section, a lot of interest in how that's improved downtown. Is there an opportunity to enhance that, perhaps with a center turn lane or other opportunities? We'll be exploring those with the community and the mayor and council.
There are so many great things that are coming up, and it's great to have you guys planning this out, making sure that uses are appropriate next to one another, and zoning is appropriate, and the aesthetics of the community are really special. So thank you for everything that you guys do in the city of Buckeye.
Thank you, Mayor.
Water is our most valuable resource, and we're taking bold action to secure it. We're applying for the Alternative Designation of Assured Water Supply, or ADAS, in the White Tank service area, which serves the community of Tartesso. This move will allow us to expand renewable water supplies with a $12 million investment from the state to enhance infrastructure, increasing reuse efforts, and ensuring a sustainable future for our city. In partnership with the Governor's Office and ADWR, we're working to secure nearly 600,000 acre-feet of water from Harquahala Valley. The Farallon Water Campus will be operational this summer, further strengthening our water infrastructure. These investments ensure a sustainable water future for Buckeye. With Buckeye's rapid growth comes the need for major infrastructure investments. Thanks to voter-approved bonds and our capital improvement program, we're delivering on key projects, including widening Miller, Jackrabbit, McDowell, and Watson roads at key locations to remove pinch points. New traffic signals along Jackrabbit at 4 intersections, including Van Buren, Roosevelt, McDowell, and Thomas, along with intersection improvements at Verrado and Yuma. Sun Valley Parkway lighting improvements near Tartesso. And one of the most requested projects, the Jackrabbit and I-10 interchange, is moving forward with funding from Prop 479 and is expected to go out for a construction bid later this year. These improvements will keep Buckeye moving forward. So let's start there. Probably the most requested project in the entire city is the Jackrabbit and I-10 interchange. City Traffic Engineer John Willett has been working closely with ADOT for years now to make this happen, and we're finally getting close. John, first off, let's talk about why it takes so long to make a project like that happen, the complexities of it.
Typically, the way a project works in the ADOT process, or even in the public sector process in the city, is you identify a project need, which was done for Jackrabbit TI. Identify the need, the interchange needs to be improved. Then the public agency, in this case ADOT, does a study to determine what is the best solution to address the need. And then once the study is completed, and that study normally takes a year, sometimes 15 months, depending on the complexity of the study, identify what is the solution, then they roll into what's called the design process. And before a lot of this can even start, there needs to be a funding source. So in order to build these improvements, where's that money come from? I mean, people just don't have money laying around. Individuals, cities don't, agencies don't have money laying around.
And so the type of money we're talking about estimated for that project is how much?
Originally it was about $65 million, and that's the range is looking in right now to redo everything. Prop 479, actually with the passage of that, is the funding source for the construction component. They're looking to hopefully start construction spring of 2026. And then it's about a year, 15-month construction schedule. So we're looking, fingers crossed, everything goes well, a completed interchange in the spring of 2027, maybe summer.
Fantastic. So we can see relief on the horizon out there.
That is correct.
And what does that project entail? Give me maybe the scope of it.
I'll do the crib note version. It's 3 lanes in each direction on Jackrabbit Trail from McDowell to immediately south of the freeway. There is a part 2 to this whole interchange project, and that's completing Jackrabbit Trail from the end of the freeway interchange all the way down to Van Buren to tie into what's been already completed by developer projects in the city south of Van Buren. So when it's all finished from basically the RID Canal, or if you're familiar with the Great Hearts Charter School area, from there to McDowell Road will be 3 lanes in each direction, interchange, nicer off-ramps, multi-lanes, traffic signal installed, basically a functioning interchange like every other one up and down I-10.
And I know our residents will ask the type of interchange, divergent diamond or the traditional?
This is the regular, typical interchange like a Verrado, not like what's at Watson and Miller.
And then that project, I guess maybe just to go a little bit further, that cleans up and fixes Jackrabbit Trail from Van Buren to McDowell. What's happening from McDowell to Thomas?
So we have 2 projects underway in the city. They're being both done by the same designer, same contractor. We will improve McDowell from Jackrabbit west towards Verrado or Tut Hill Wash. That's starting construction in the next couple of weeks. They're just waiting for one last utility company to get out of the way. The contractor's going to get in there. That'll be one lane in each direction with the middle turn lane. So there'll be another access point out of Verrado over to Jackrabbit. Then the second piece of that project is improving Jackrabbit from McDowell to Thomas. And again, continuing the 3 lanes in each direction with the median.
Traffic signal at
And
Thomas.
it's traffic signal McDowell, traffic signal at Thomas. That is correct.
Let's talk about some of the other projects that are going on. So the voters overwhelmingly approved the bond issuance. It was on the ballot last year, and really exciting to see that we have upwards of $150 million to go towards transportation projects. Maybe talk a little bit about that and how sprinkled throughout the entire city of Buckeye, those projects will relieve traffic congestion.
We're going to spend the bond money in phases because it doesn't make sense to try to spend it all tomorrow. It's going to be spread out over several years. Some of the early projects are we're going to start the design process for Indian School to improve Indian School from Jackrabbit to Perryville. Mm-hmm. We have another study phase for Jackrabbit from Thomas to Indian School to add additional lanes there. We are also going to look at Miller to add some more lanes between Broadway and Lower Buckeye. We have pieces on Watson to improve between Broadway and Lower Buckeye, where the RID canal is. We have some projects in there. Those are the pinch points that we talked about in the bond, that we just need some money to add more lanes, increase the capacity. Those are probably 3 of the bigger ones coming in right away. We are looking to improve Verrado between Yuma and Van Buren, add an additional lane northbound, southbound. Over on Sun Valley Parkway, we're looking to bring in some lighting in the Tartesso area initially. Then the next phase would be in Festival.
Okay, so in addition to funding from Prop 479 or funding that is coming through bonds, we have CIP projects, capital improvement projects in the city that are already in the works. Maybe talk a little bit about some of those and what that looks like moving forward.
Okay, yeah, sure. So basically the CIP is a program that builds all these projects. Some of the initial ones coming in right now, if you're familiar with Miller between Lower Buckeye and I-10, that construction is going on right now. We were finally able to get the last few utilities out of the way. We have another project on Watson that will go to construction this fall to improve the east side of Watson from Lower Buckeye to Durango, right across from Inca Elementary, to put 3 lanes in each direction. Back up to Miller. Miller was 3 lanes in each direction from Lower Buckeye to Pima. We have a third project that will go to construction this fall to also improve Apache, next to immediately south of Yuma. Traffic signals being installed at Southern and Apache. Those should be going in fairly soon. We are looking at a project at Broadway in Watson to put a traffic signal in there and improve that intersection a little better.
All right, John, well, I appreciate you spending time and talking with us here. There's a mountain of infrastructure projects that are headed our way. You're going to be very, very busy over the next 5 years. We appreciate all that's going into it. Thank you, John, for being a part of the city of Buckeye.
You're welcome, and thank you I love doing it. I love talking to the residents and trying to help ease their concerns and finding solutions to what they're asking for.
The Buckeye Municipal Airport is a vital part of our city's future. With an improved development process and expansion plans, we're attracting new aviation businesses and preparing for the high demand for hangar space. Plans are underway to engage private development to increase capacity and better serve our aviation community. This year's Buckeye Airfair was our biggest yet, drawing over 36,000 spectators. As our airport grows, it will continue to be a major economic driver for Buckeye. Public safety is a top priority. Our latest investments include the Police Department Communications Building, opening this summer to enhance emergency response capabilities. Buckeye will oversee the Joe Foss shooting range to ensure a safe, modern facility for both law enforcement training and public use. The range is set to reopen in the fall of 2025. Fire Station 707, now open in Blue Horizons, improving emergency response times. West Park and Victory fire stations expanding coverage for growing neighborhoods. It has been a big year for our fire department with the opening of Station 707 in Blue Horizons and the bond passage. Fire Chief Jake Rhodes, what does this bond passing mean to the fire department?
With the opening of 707, That was a big move for our department. The increase in service can be realized right away. Now we go into the bond and the support that we get to open 2 more stations, look at public safety training grounds and also public safety administration, both of which we desperately need. So now the bond comes, the Victory Fire Station. The Victory Fire Station will go at the intersection of Acacia and Indian School Road, right there on the north side. That land is already acquired. We're already moving. We've actually already we're in the process of selecting architects for that and Fire Station 706 in West Park. So both those projects are moving rather rapidly.
I think just from a geography standpoint, there's probably a lot of people that don't understand how far north Verrado stretches and Victory stretches. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
If you look at the last 8 years and the density in that northern area of Verrado, which is we kind of affectionately call the Victory development, there's all kinds of neighborhoods up there, but it has grown so much, not only residentially, but commercially. We've taken in a lot of calls to the north and the east, and Goodyear will be building to our east as well. Again, we're part of that automatic aid system. So really we're responding in and out of the city. And again, similarly, that Victory area was covered by the Verrado station. We take in all that area, and that Verrado station can only do so much. So it's a welcome need in that area.
And that Verrado station is at essentially Thomas Road.
Yes.
This will be built at Indian School,
Yep.
and Victory stretches all the way up to basically Glendale Avenue.
It does. It does. We go north. That station also does a lot of mountain rescues, and so we'll put our TRT unit likely at that station because that Verrado station again goes south. It goes on to the interstate quite a bit for accidents and things like that. So that'll be more committed to that north area. Again, all part of that continuous system that we operate in the Phoenix Metro.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the excitement probably with the crew that's at the West Park station and going from what's essentially a double-wide trailer to a full-on unit.
When you say essentially a double-wide trailer, it is. And it sits right in the West Park Elementary School parking lot since 2008. A temporary fire station that took a little bit longer. But I can say one thing about that crew, those are some of the tightest crews that we have, basically because they're living on top of one another. But it's a great area for us in growth in that we can kind of get out of that school parking lot. And if you're familiar with that area, you got school zones, you got roundabouts, you got other things. And to serve our entire community, not just West Park, we're actually looking at land that's been donated as part of the Copper Falls. So the addition of that 706 station, we're actually looking at land out of the West Park development west of the Miller and Broadway intersection, which will give us more access to big roads, faster access throughout the community, which will be fantastic. They not only serve West Park, but the entire community.
Yeah, it's still great response times within West Park,
absolutely.
But now able to serve that entire region.
Yeah, fantastic.
So overall, within say the last year, moving through the next 2 years, there's probably 45 new employees, but probably more than that.
Probably closer to 60.
60
yes,
in the fire department.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that just, of course, it all goes with growth and funding, but when you're opening those stations and doing that, it's an exciting time.
Yeah.
But it's also the challenges that come, the fun challenges that come with that as well.
Right. And that takes more administration and more training and so a bigger at the top scenario. Tell me then what the public safety training facility and admin facility means for you guys.
Absolutely. So if you look at both police and fire right now, most of our training, we're going out. We're going to Glendale, Phoenix, other locations around. We're sending our crews out. So having a dedicated training facility that meets our needs closer means more frequent training, more reliability. You can just get on those. And like you say, we're adding, when I got here, we were just over 100 personnel. We're 151 with the addition of these 15 we just hired. So that increase needs that support personnel, additional training staff, additional EMS staff, just administrative support to manage field operations. So there's a lot there. And so right now, this coming year, although building those is a few years out, we're already going through the design, needs analysis, and everything in this coming year. So we're ready to pull the trigger when it's funded, which is exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. And I think there's some still discussion going on where exactly that lands, what piece of property, and there's no shortage of options for that.
That's 100% true, and that you can think about how the city's growing. So where do we build now versus where do we grow when the city projects out 15 years from now? So that's part of the next year's process, is really try to secure that land. Securing land in Buckeye, we have a few options, a couple partnerships we're looking at with some school systems and other things that I think could really yield some good results, not only for the public safety side, but for the school sides, the education side as well.
Yeah. Well, Chief, we're so proud of our fire department, and we think you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you for everything that you guys are doing, and responding to calls and flying the airplane while we're building it here. Basically, you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and we really appreciate you all.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support that we get every day. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. Buckeye is expanding social services to support residents of all ages through the Community Services Department. We provide essential resources like education, legal aid, health services, and family support. A key initiative, Dementia Friendly Buckeye, helps individuals and caregivers facing memory loss with Buckeye Memory Cafe, offering monthly support at the Senior Center. In partnership with Maricopa County and the Salvation Army, we also provide housing assistance, utility relief, food programs, and veteran services, building a stronger, more connected community. From our amazing events to our incredible parks and recreation, to now human services, Miranda Gomez, our Community Services Director, is head of the team that does it all. Let's talk about how our Human Services Division is expanding. Miranda, tell us about what you guys do that's not just parks and recreation or events.
Specifically with Human Services, we offer rent and utility assistance, but beyond that, our team has a just plethora of resources available to anybody that's experiencing any type of need. So we work with all the local nonprofits, and that team is averaging $1 million back out into the community of some sort of assistance every single year. In addition to 250 referrals to other nonprofits and service organizations that maybe provide more specific services, like if you're needing help accessing healthcare and or childcare, those type of things.
Tell me a bit about the meal delivery and the number of meals that are prepped in the kitchen in the senior center.
Yeah, so our senior center does an amazing job. They've got seniors that come to the senior center, and they're able to get a nutritious meal every single day that's balanced. But on top of that, they also have residents that are homebound, so they're not able to leave their home for whatever medical reason or condition that they have. And so we actually take those meals to them. And on an annual basis, that team is turning out 40,000 meals a year for our senior citizens here in Buckeye.
And that's senior citizens across the entire 640 square mile planning area. There's a new program that's been implemented recently, Dementia Friendly. We're a Dementia Friendly city. Talk a little bit about that and what that means for the city.
Yeah, so the Dementia Friendly group is hosting memory cafes specifically. So the Memory Cafe is a program where we bring in activities for those folks who are experiencing some sort of memory loss problem. So the diagnosis it's not important what the specific diagnosis is, but if you have a loved one that's experiencing some sort of memory loss issue, you can bring them. We have activities especially for them, but the more important part is that we've got then resources available for the caregivers. So we have a little bit of a reprieve for the caregivers. They get to kind of meet with each other, kind of congregate with each other and talk about, maybe some issues that they're having and resources they found, and have a little bit of time for themselves. Which is really difficult to do if you've ever cared for somebody with memory loss or dementia.
Miranda, veterans are incredibly important to us here in the city of Buckeye. And we have veterans all over the community. So grateful for their service, and we provide services to veterans also, not only from those outside partners, but internal. Talk a bit about that.
Sure. So the veterans groups are wildly important to what we do here in Buckeye. We have a very high population of veterans in Buckeye. I don't know that everybody knows that. So if we have veterans are another group that just find themselves needing services sometimes. And so our human services group is another one, another great one for them to reach out to and just let them know what's going on, what you need. And our folks work with all of those groups and can get our veterans to the right resource should they need one. But also we partner with different community-led groups that offer services and events like the Veterans Lift Up that just happened just a little bit ago. And then
Vice Mayor would kick us if we did not mention that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's a great event and a great place to go for resources, kind of a one-stop shop event. But then also, speaking of the Vice Mayor, he worked with us this last year in a group of engaged veterans to design and then build our Veterans Memorial, which is now located at Sundance Park.
And it's a beautiful addition to the park, but is so perfectly situated right in the middle of that to where you have activities all around and people have also the opportunity to come and just sit and remember. Or I think I've been to 2 or 3 events there now. There's one other that I would like you to talk about, and it's this idea of banners honoring our heroes along Monroe. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So we're calling that the Hometown Heroes program, and we just had the call out for folks to nominate their local hero. And essentially you can send us in your loved one or maybe your own service information along with a picture. And what we're going to do through our arts and culture program actually is create banners that then will go along Main Street and honor those folks in their service.
Arts and culture is an exciting one, and I know we've been talking about doing that a long time in the city of Buckeye. What are we doing for arts and culture moving forward?
Sure. So we just stood up our subcommittee, which is a part of our Community Services Advisory Board, and they just officially in the last couple of weeks approved the first set of traffic box wraps, which I've heard a lot from residents that folks are looking forward to. So we will be installing the first of 8 traffic box wraps in the next year or so. So you'll see those mostly up and down Yuma along the Watson corridor, trying to install them in groupings so that you kind of have an experience as you drive. So as we continue with that program, you'll start seeing them throughout the city.
Yeah, that's exciting. And as we move along, it's not just the visual arts, it's performing arts that eventually we'll have programs for and maybe facilities for long-range vision down the road. Well, Miranda, we're so grateful for everything that Community Services Department does. It's the soft infrastructure of the community and so very, very important to the social services that are provided, the programs, the dementia-friendly, the meal deliveries, all just incredibly important. And we're grateful for you and your team for what you're doing here in making Buckeye a better place.
Well, thank you, Mayor. We're happy to do it.
Thank you. Buckeye's future has never been brighter. With smart planning, strategic investments, and the support of our community, we are building a city where families and businesses can thrive. Thank you for being a part of Buckeye's incredible journey. Stay connected and learn more on our social channels and buckeyeaz.gov. We're just getting started.